good gaming device is indispensable. Most of us can't imagine playing a GameCube without a Wavebird controller, shaking a Wiimote without the Motion Plus, or blazing through the Sega Saturn without the 3D controller. Right? Sometimes these efforts plummet into the lava instead of saving the princess, and are virtually never spoken of again. Here are 5 unnecessary console accessories. Game Boy camera and printer. In 1998, Nintendo developed a digital camera and corresponding printer for the Game Boy handheld. The camera itself worked fine, but it was the eventual dwindling support that was the issue. Not to mention that if the Game Boy printer was a major selling point for you, it would be exceedingly difficult to acquire a thermal printer to actually print your images. Any product where you can run out of fuel for it is certainly problematic. The NES Power Glove. Part of the problem could have been that Nintendo, in spite of licensing this product/clothing item, outsourced the development to 6 different entities, continually switching and amending the work they had done, and it very well could have been a case of too many e-cooks in the e-kitchen. Controlling the glove consisted of using the basic NES controls, inputting commands to the labeled 1 through 9 buttons, as well as utilizing hand motions to control your character.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
ROB. Rob. Everyone's favorite peripheral robot. The Robotic Operating Buddy is a pretty ridiculous peripheral when you stop to consider that this is a controller in the shape of a conscious robot. Nintendo was throwing a lot of ideas at the wall in these earlier days, and while Rob was only supported on 2 titles, the peripheral certainly made an impression. Rob worked by receiving optical flashes from the TV that would correspond to his LED eyes. Rob was then capable of completing 6 commands, which would correspond to the game. Arguably, this was clunky at best, expensive, and with limited software support, but at least it left you with a robot in your room to play with. Virtual Boy, the little system that could. Or at least could for 30 minutes before you needed to put it away, before those spider eggs in your skull hatched. Even sillier now that Nintendo has produced the beyond viable 3DS, the Virtual Boy was the company's much earlier attempt at the technology. The problem here was that the clunky headset of a system would actually begin to make you feel nauseous or dizzy after extended use, which is kind of a serious issue. In spite of there actually being some worthwhile titles on the system, the console was only on the market for less than a year before Nintendo silently killed it. Tony Hawk Ride Skateboard. As you can probably imagine, this device was used with Tony Hawk Ride, using infrared sensors to detect your movements on the board, replicating it in the game. The problem was, as this title and skateboarding games in general began to move in their twilight, a buggy board with quite the high price tag wasn't winning anyone over. The amount of precision with the peripheral was hard to master, and it hardly seemed worth deviating from the standard, already slick control scheme. The device failed to impress most gamers. There are tons more accessories that we didn't mention, so head over to our website for a much more comprehensive list. Thanks for watching!